Goodbye YouTube. How's it going, everybody? Now wait, do not close the video. Get your mouse off of the X button. Thank you. Hear me out here. Now I know I did say I would be using a new custom background for my showdown battles, but this should be the very last battle I have saved up with me using the regular showdown background. Reason being is that I actually had this battle the night before I knew how to change backgrounds. So yeah, this was actually a really good battle I had against Chimpact. Some of you might know who Chimpact is. He is a well-known Pokemon YouTuber. I'll leave his channel link down in the description. If you guys want to go check him out, then feel free to do so. But yeah, I believe currently Chimpact is like number 17 or 14 on the NU ladder, so he does know what he's doing. And as I said, this was a pretty good battle. Now, I know some of you guys asked me in my previous upload on how to get the custom backgrounds. Well, I'll leave a link to the video made by my buddy, the Canadian Wi-Fi, showing you guys how to get the custom backgrounds, and I'll even link some of the custom backgrounds that I use so you guys can change your backgrounds and you don't have to search for them. And one of those links will be the Wi-Fi battle background, which I know some of you guys did ask for. So yeah, check that out, and you can customize your background on Showdown to whatever you like. And just, yeah, team preview. I'm using a really fun team that I based around Choice Specs Gardevoir and Choice Banded Sock, basically as wall breakers. Then I threw in Sawsbuck to be a late game sweeper, because once the walls are gone, Sawsbuck can come in, set up a substitute or just a Swordsdance and basically sweep through teams. And then I threw in a Skuntank because Skuntank can get rid of the ghost types and the psychic types that Sock and Gardevoir do not like. Finally off, I threw in Specially Defensive Seismitoad because it pairs up well with Sawsbuck, plus it also gives me a electric immunity and Stealth Rocks. Then finally off, I threw in Physically Defensive Mandibuzz because you guys know I have to use Mandibuzz. It dropped down to NU. It's bulky as all hell, so obviously I have to use it. Now, looking at threats on Chimpact's side of the field, Sock. That is literally the biggest threat because nothing on my team safely switches into an Adamant Choice Banded close combat. Also, Tauros might be a huge problem if I lose my Mandibuzz, and I really have to watch out for that Garbodor because if I allow it to get up hazards, then I'm screwed. So what I'm going to do is actually lead off with my Skuntank, thinking that he's going to lead off with the Garbodor, but no, he ends up leading off with the Shift Tree, and knowing that some Shift Trees do tend to carry Nature Power, I decided to switch directly into my Mandibuzz, which is exactly what happens. Then knowing that he's going to want to switch out, I'm going to go for the taunt, predicting him to bring in either the Golurk or the Garbodor. As he does bring in the Garbodor, I'm just going to take this opportunity to go for the Foul Play, as he actually brings in the Sock, and that did 56% the Sock. Now, I know I can take an Adamant Choice Band in close combat because one does not simply one-hit KO Mandibuzz. So I'm going to go for the Foul Play, but Chimpact makes a very good play, baits me to Foul Play, switches into his Garbodor, getting off the Rocky Helmet damage. Then this turn, knowing that I should be faster than the Garbodor, I'm going to go for the Taunt as he tries to get up a layer of spikes. So for the time being, I prevented him from getting up spikes, which is going to be really good because now that means that my team won't be taking that extra damage. As I bring in my Seismitoad, I predicted him to go for the Gunk Shot, but he actually goes for the Drain Punch. He gets a crit, which honestly doesn't end up mattering whatsoever, and I'm just going to take this opportunity knowing that he's going to want to switch out. I'm going to go for my Stealth Rocks as he brings in the Golurk. Now normally Seismitoad is faster than Golurk, but Chimpact is running a very speedy Golurk as he gets up his rocks. Even if he wasn't speedy, he still would have got up his rocks, so I guess it really doesn't matter, but whatever. I get off a huge hit on the Golurk, then this turn predicting him to bring in the Shift Tree. What I'm going to do is actually double switch out into my Mandibuzz because the second Scald or the possible Earth Power is a little too obvious, so the Shift Tree switching was also obvious. As I bring in my Mandibuzz again, Shift Tree can do nothing to me, so what I'm going to do is just go straight for the Foul Play, predicting him to want to switch out. As he brings in the Garbodor, I get off a huge hit, which is really great because considering the fact that Garbodor has no form of recovery outside of Drain Punch means I should be able to wear him down accordingly. Then this turn I'm going to go for the Taunt as Chimpact makes a very good play, predicts me to taunt, brings in the Sock, and I'm going to stay in because nothing on my team is going to take a Choice Band in close combat. And look at that! That did over 50%, but still Mandibuzz took the hit. And if I really wanted to, I could easily stay in and keep roosting off the damage, but I know eventually he's going to crit me. And from the looks of Chimpact's team, Gardevoir is basically the least helpful team member to me in this battle. So I switched that in for fodder, but it turns out that I'm actually able to live. So this turn, Chimpact is going to be fearing the fact that I am a timid nature or possibly even Scarf, and he's going to switch out to the Shift Tree. As I do end up predicting that I go for the Focus Blast, I get a crit, which I am modest Choice Spec, so the crit obviously doesn't matter. Unfortunately though, he now brings in his Garbodor, which even if I stayed in, he can easily live a Focus Blast and still get up a layer of spikes. And yeah, the thing I was trying to prevent just happened because of me going for the Focus Blast. And I thought that my Seismitoad, I thought that my Seismitoad would be faster than this Garbodor, but no. It turns out the Garbodor speed is base 75, where Seismitoad is base 74. And he gets up 2 layers of spikes, and he has Rocks Up, which means Sock and Tauros have become even bigger threats than they already were. So I'm switching to my Gardevoir, scouting out to see what he wants to lock himself into. As he ends up going for the close combat, knowing that he's banded, I can safely bring in my Sawsbuck. And my best play to go for is going to be the Hornleech, even though yes I do have Substitute, Kadabra tend to carry Encore. So if I had gone for the Substitute, considering the fact that Kadabra is faster than Sawsbuck, he could have Encored me into the Substitute. So either way, Hornleech was definitely my better play to go for. Assist turn, I'm predicting him to go for a Hidden Power Fighting or a Psychic, and I'm going to bring in my Skuntank as he does end up going safely for the Psychic. I found that to be a bit odd, but as you're about to see, he actually turns out to have Hidden Power Ground and not Hidden Power Fighting, getting off a huge hit on my Skuntank, allowing me to pursue trap him. Sorry, my mouth is a little bit dry. But I knock out the Kadabra, which is really great. As he brings in the Tauros, I can safely leave in my Skuntank and go for a Sucker Punch, because if he Earthquakes, that gives me a free switch into my Sawsbuck. If he returns, that gives me a free switch into my Mandibuzz. So either way, I'm in a win-win situation. And he does actually end up going for the return, which is actually the better move he could have gone for, because after a Substitute, nothing on his team that he has left outside of this Tauros outspeeds me, which means I can knock out either the Sock or the Golurk and even possibly knock out the Tauros if he had gone for the Earthquake. So my Mandibuzz easily takes the return, allowing me to roost off the damage. Then this turn, predicting him to switch into the Golurk or the Sawsbuck, thinking I would go for another return. I'm going to go for the Foul Play, get rid of the Golurk, which is really good for me because now I'm going to be able to have a easier time dealing with this team as he brings in the Sock. At this point, Mandibuzz is basically my win condition, so what I have to do is fodder off my own Sock, which is what I'm going to do, allowing me to now get a free switch into my Sawsbuck. And at this point, he has to either fodder off his Sock or fodder off his Tauros, because Sawsbuck's Hornleech can easily knock out one of those two, even after an Intimidate from Tauros. He does just decide to leave in his Sock, allowing me to knock it out, and at this point, with Tauros being his last Pokemon, after he knocks out my Sawsbuck, I can then bring in Mandibuzz, and barring the fact that he does not crit me, I can easily live a return and knock him out with the Foul Play. So he knocks out my Sawsbuck, and here's the moment of truth. Is he going to crit me? Is he not going to crit me? And he doesn't crit me, allowing me to live, and I'm going to be able to knock him out with the Foul Play, and that's going to be the 2-0 victory in my favor. So yeah, that was definitely a fun game. Got really intense, especially after he got up those 2 layers of spikes. Thankfully though, I was able to play around them and still pull out the victory. If you guys enjoyed the battle, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to some more content. Sorry about my little stutters. I should really drink some water before I narrate. But yeah, with that, I will see you guys soon.